Have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve their goals effortlessly, while others struggle, despite having the same amount of time and resources? The answer often lies in their habits, the small, consistent actions that shape their lives. Success doesn't happen overnight, it's built gradually, one habit at a time. This book, Habit Shift, Strengthen Your Path to Success, is designed to guide you through a journey of transforming your daily habits to create lasting success. Throughout these chapters, you'll explore practical steps for identifying, building, and sustaining powerful habits that align with your goals. You'll learn how to overcome challenges, celebrate progress, and ultimately turn positive habits into an essential part of who you are. By the end, you'll have a strong foundation to make each day a step closer to your version of success. Let's begin the shift together. Chapter 1: The Power of Small Shifts. When we think about making positive changes, it's easy to imagine big, sweeping transformations. But often, the most effective changes are small, steady shifts in our daily actions. Imagine you're on a ship, navigating the ocean. If you adjust your course by just a single degree, it might seem like a tiny shift at first. However, over time, that slight change in direction could lead you to a completely different destination. The same is true with habits. By focusing on small adjustments, you can steer your life toward greater success, well-being, and fulfillment. In this chapter, we'll explore how these small shifts can make an enormous difference. The idea may sound simple, yet many people underestimate its power. Often, we're taught to think that real progress requires bold, immediate changes. But here's the truth. Consistent, small improvements over time are incredibly powerful. These shifts build momentum, and soon, they become part of who you are. Consider the habit of reading for just 10 minutes each day. On its own, it might not seem life-changing, but if you stick with it, those daily minutes add up. In a year, you could finish multiple books, absorb new knowledge, and strengthen your mind. These benefits compound over time, leading to personal growth that feels almost effortless. Think about a successful entrepreneur who seems to accomplish more than most. Often, what sets them apart isn't a single extraordinary talent, but rather the daily habits that shape their productivity and focus. For example, many start their day with a consistent morning routine, a small shift that boosts their mood, focus, and energy for the entire day. By dedicating even a few minutes to exercise, reading, or planning their day, they set a positive tone that impacts everything they do. These aren't huge changes, but they are powerful because they are consistent. A great example of the impact of small shifts is found in physical health. Suppose you want to get stronger, but the thought of an intense workout program feels overwhelming. Instead of committing to an hour-long daily session, you decide to start with 5 minutes each morning, doing simple exercises like stretching, push-ups, or a short walk. At first, it might feel too minor to matter. However, as you maintain this habit, your body begins to adjust. Soon, 5 minutes becomes a natural part of your morning. Over time, you'll likely feel motivated to add a few more exercises or extend your routine because the habit has already been established. What began as a small shift has led to a lasting impact on your physical health and well-being. One reason small shifts are so effective is that they're easier to maintain than drastic changes. Think back to any New Year's resolution you may have set. It's common for people to start with big plans, exercising every day, eating only healthy foods, or saving large amounts of money. While these intentions are admirable, the abrupt change often becomes hard to sustain. When life gets busy or motivation fades, we fall back into old habits. Small shifts, on the other hand, feel manageable, even when we're tired or pressed for time. Because they don't require huge amounts of energy or willpower, they're easier to stick with long-term. Another area where small shifts can be transformative is in relationships. Let's say you want to deepen your connection with a friend or family member. Instead of waiting for a big event or a special occasion, you can focus on small gestures, like sending a thoughtful message or setting aside a few minutes to talk each week. Over time, these small actions build trust, understanding, and appreciation. Relationships, like habits, thrive on consistency. The effort you put in daily, however small, accumulates, leading to a strong, lasting bond. In the context of work and career, small shifts are equally valuable. Picture someone who wants to improve their skills and performance. They don't need to overhaul their entire approach overnight. Instead, they can start by dedicating a few minutes each day to learning something new, seeking feedback, or setting daily goals. By breaking down their aspirations into small, manageable steps, they'll notice progress in their performance, confidence, and satisfaction over time. To apply the concept of small shifts in your own life, consider an area where you'd like to see improvement. What's one small, realistic change you could make today? Perhaps it's setting aside time to read a few pages each morning, drinking an extra glass of water, or expressing gratitude to someone in your life. As you start to incorporate these small shifts, pay attention to how they make you feel. Do they bring a sense of accomplishment, ease, or joy? Allow these feelings to motivate you to continue, knowing that each small step is part of a bigger journey. Remember, success doesn't require radical change. It begins with small shifts, repeated consistently, that eventually create a powerful transformation. So, start small, but stay steady. With time, these little actions will guide you toward the life you envision. Reflective question. What's one small shift you can make today that aligns with your goals? Think of something manageable and easy to implement, and commit to practicing it daily for the next week. Observe how this simple change impacts your journey toward success. Chapter 2. Identifying your core habits. Have you ever taken a moment to examine which habits truly shape your life? Some habits are so ingrained in our routines that we hardly notice their impact, but they play a significant role in determining where we're headed. These are what we call core habits, the habits that influence not just one part of our lives but multiple areas, creating a ripple effect of either progress or stagnation. By identifying and focusing on these core habits, we can harness their power to create positive change. Core habits often differ from person to person, but they share one thing in common: they provide a foundation for other actions. For example, a person who prioritizes a morning routine that includes exercise, meditation, or reading often finds that their day flows more smoothly. This single core habit has a wide-ranging effect on their productivity, mood, and focus. Without even realizing it, they've set themselves up for success in multiple areas of life. On the other hand, a person whose core habit is scrolling through their phone first thing in the morning may start the day feeling scattered, losing valuable time, and feeling less focused. Consider an example from the workplace. Imagine two colleagues, Sarah and Ben, who are both trying to excel in their careers. Sarah has developed the core habit of starting each workday by reviewing her to-do list and setting clear goals. This small habit helps her stay organized, manage her time effectively, and meet her deadlines consistently. As a result, she feels in control and productive, and her performance stands out. Ben, however, tends to jump into tasks without a clear plan. He often finds himself struggling to keep up, feeling overwhelmed, and missing important details. Both are capable individuals, but Sarah's core habit of planning creates a noticeable difference in her results. The beauty of core habits is that once established, they work almost automatically, freeing up mental energy for other tasks. Think about brushing your teeth. It's a habit so deeply embedded that it requires little thought, yet its benefits are profound. Imagine if other habits, such as daily exercise, reading, or goal setting, could become just as automatic. By identifying which habits will have the most significant impact on your goals, you can begin to design a lifestyle that supports your success naturally. Core habits are often small but powerful. Take, for instance, the habit of drinking enough water each day. While it may not seem monumental, staying hydrated impacts your energy levels, focus, and overall health. A person who commits to this core habit finds that they're more alert, productive, and capable of managing stress. Over time, this seemingly simple habit contributes to better health and higher performance. Another example could be the habit of practicing gratitude. By taking a few moments each day to reflect on what you're thankful for, you create a positive mindset that influences how you approach challenges and relationships. But how do you identify which core habits are right for you? Begin by thinking about your values and goals. What areas of life do you want to improve or strengthen? If you're focused on personal health, A core habit might involve regular exercise, mindful eating, or meditation. If professional success is your goal, you might consider habits like daily planning, continuous learning, or networking. By aligning your habits with your goals, you're creating a structure that naturally moves you toward success. Let's look at the example of Alice, a young professional who wanted to improve her financial health. Alice identified that her biggest challenge was impulsive spending, especially when she felt stressed. Instead of focusing on drastic measures, she started with the core habit of tracking her expenses. Each day, she would note down every purchase she made, however small. Over time, this simple habit helped her become more mindful of her spending. She could see patterns and identify areas where she could cut back. Gradually, her financial health improved, not because of one big change, but because of the awareness created by this core habit. Identifying your core habits is an ongoing process. As you grow and your priorities shift, the habits that serve you best may change. What's important is staying aware of the impact these habits have on your life. Regularly assess which habits are contributing positively and which may be holding you back. This awareness allows you to adapt and refine your habits to support your journey continuously. Once you've identified a few core habits, commit to practicing them consistently. Remember, it's not about perfection. There may be days when you miss your habit, but the key is to return to it as soon as possible. Consistency over time creates lasting results. By nurturing these core habits, you're laying a foundation for success that will support you through life's ups and downs. Reflective question: what are the core habits that shape your day-to-day life? Identify one habit that aligns with your goals and commit to practicing it daily. Notice how this small change influences other areas of your life over the next week. Chapter 3. Building a Vision for Success. What does success look like to you? It's a question that may seem simple, but holds immense power. Success means different things to different people, and having a clear vision of it is crucial for creating meaningful habits that align with your goals. A well-defined vision serves as your roadmap, helping you understand where you're headed and why each step along the way matters. When you can picture your destination, even the smallest habit feels like a purposeful step forward, bringing your goals closer with each action. Building a vision for success is more than just creating a list of things you want to achieve. It involves a deeper understanding of what truly matters to you and how you want your life to feel and look. For example, some people might associate success with financial freedom, others with personal happiness, and yet others with making a positive impact in the world. Knowing what success means to you allows you to shape habits that are genuinely aligned with your desires, making it easier to stay committed. If you understand that success, for you, means living a healthy and balanced life, then daily exercise or mindfulness practices become more than tasks. They become essential parts of your journey toward that vision. Let's take the story of James, a busy manager who used to feel overwhelmed by his daily responsibilities. He was successful by most standards, but he lacked a sense of purpose and direction. After reflecting on what success truly meant to him, James realized he valued balance and personal growth over constant productivity. With this clarity, he adjusted his habits to align with this vision. Instead of pushing himself to work late every night, he prioritized spending quality time with his family and setting aside time for personal development. Over time, these habits not only made him feel more fulfilled, but also improved his productivity at work, as he approached his responsibilities with a clearer, more focused mind. Another example is Sarah, who wanted to become financially independent. For her, success wasn't about amassing wealth, but rather having the freedom to make choices without financial constraints. Once she identified this vision, she began to implement habits that would move her closer to it, such as saving a portion of her income, learning about investments, and setting realistic financial goals. Because each habit was tied to her vision of financial freedom, Sarah found it easier to stick to them, even when faced with the temptation to spend impulsively. Her clear vision gave her purpose and motivation, making each small action feel like a step toward the independence she craved. Creating a vision for success is an evolving process. You might have a general idea of what you want, but as you grow, your vision can become more specific and refined. The key is to take the time to think deeply about what matters to you and allow that clarity to guide your habits. Start by asking yourself questions like, what makes me feel fulfilled? And what kind of life do I want to create? The answers to these questions can help you shape a vision that is uniquely yours. Once you have a vision, it's essential to keep it at the forefront of your mind. A great way to do this is through visualization. Spend a few minutes each day picturing your ideal life, how it feels, what you're doing, and who you're with. Visualization strengthens your connection to your vision and can make it easier to stay motivated. For example, if your vision includes a strong, healthy body, visualizing yourself enjoying outdoor activities or feeling energized can make it more appealing to stick to habits like exercising regularly and eating well. Having a vision also helps you make choices that are aligned with your goals. When faced with decisions, whether big or small, you can ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my vision of success? This question can be a powerful guide, helping you focus on actions that matter and letting go of distractions. For instance, if you're tempted to skip a planned workout because you feel tired, reminding yourself of your vision of health can give you the push you need to follow through. Your vision acts as a reminder of why these small actions are worthwhile, helping you overcome moments of doubt or fatigue. Remember, your vision for success doesn't have to be grand or complex. It's about what feels right for you. A simple vision like living a peaceful, balanced life can be just as powerful as more detailed goals. The important thing is that it resonates with you and gives you a sense of purpose. When your habits are connected to this vision, they stop feeling like chores and start feeling like meaningful steps toward the life you want. In this journey, you may encounter challenges or setbacks. It's normal to experience moments when your vision feels distant or hard to achieve. During these times, revisit your vision and remind yourself of the reasons behind your goals. Keeping a journal where you record your vision and the progress you've made can be helpful. Reading through your entries can reignite your motivation, helping you stay committed to the habits you've set. Creating a vision for success is like building a compass. It helps you navigate life's twists and turns, keeping you focused on what truly matters. Each habit, each action, each decision becomes a piece of a bigger picture. As you strengthen your vision, you'll find yourself moving forward with greater clarity, purpose, and joy. Reflective question. What does success mean to you? Take a few minutes to reflect on your personal vision for success and write it down. Think about the habits you can adopt to move toward this vision and commit to taking one small action today that aligns with your goals. Chapter 4. Creating Momentum with Daily Wins. Have you ever noticed how achieving one small success can make you feel more motivated to accomplish the next? This is the power of momentum. Just like a snowball rolling down a hill, each small success builds upon the last, creating a powerful force that drives you forward. Building momentum with daily wins is one of the most effective ways to stay motivated and make lasting progress toward your goals. When you focus on small, achievable actions each day, you not only build confidence but also create a foundation of positive habits that naturally guide you toward success. Momentum is often misunderstood as something that requires large, dramatic efforts. But in reality, it's the smaller, consistent actions that truly create sustainable momentum. Let's imagine you want to develop a habit of reading more. Instead of committing to reading a whole book in a week, you could start by reading just a few pages each day. As you follow through on this small commitment, you experience a win each time you complete your reading for the day. These daily wins add up, reinforcing your belief that you can indeed become someone who reads regularly. Over time, your confidence grows, and so does your desire to keep going. Before you know it, reading becomes a natural part of your day, and you may even find yourself reading more than you originally planned. Consider the story of Mia, a young professional who wanted to improve her fitness but felt overwhelmed by the idea of a full workout routine. Instead of trying to change everything at once, she decided to focus on one small habit, walking for 10 minutes each morning. At first it seemed almost too simple, but Mia quickly found that her morning walks boosted her mood and energy. After a few weeks, she felt motivated to add light stretching to her routine. Gradually, her daily walk grew into a more comprehensive exercise habit. What started as a small daily win had created momentum that transformed her lifestyle. Mia's story illustrates how small wins build confidence and create a positive cycle of progress. Daily wins are powerful because they keep your mind focused on success. When you set goals that are too ambitious or far off, it's easy to lose motivation when results don't appear quickly. Small wins, on the other hand, provide immediate satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. Each small victory sends a message to your brain: I can do this. This message reinforces your self-belief and helps you stay committed to your larger goals even when challenges arise. By focusing on one day at a time, you make steady progress that builds up over weeks, months, and years. The concept of daily wins isn't limited to personal habits. It also applies in the workplace. For example, imagine a project manager named Tom who felt overwhelmed by the scope of a big project. Instead of trying to tackle everything at once, he broke the project down into smaller, manageable tasks. Each day, he aimed to complete just one of these tasks. By doing so, he was able to create a steady stream of small wins that kept him motivated. As Tom ticked off each task, he saw visible progress, which gave him the confidence to keep pushing forward. His team also noticed his consistent effort, and soon, they too felt motivated to stay on track. This chain reaction of small wins made the project feel less daunting and more achievable for everyone involved. One reason daily wins are so effective is that they reduce stress and make big goals feel more attainable. Large goals can often seem intimidating, especially when we're at the beginning stages. By breaking them down into small, daily actions, you reduce the pressure and make it easier to stay focused on the present moment. When you achieve a small goal, your brain releases dopamine, a feel-good hormone that boosts your mood and motivation. This positive feeling encourages you to repeat the behavior, which strengthens the habit over time. It's also important to celebrate your daily wins, no matter how small they may seem. Taking a moment to acknowledge your progress reminds you that you're moving in the right direction. For instance, if your goal is to write a book, finishing even a paragraph each day is a win worth celebrating. This act of acknowledgement reinforces the habit and encourages you to keep going. Some people find it helpful to keep a journal where they record their daily wins. Reflecting on these entries can be inspiring, especially on days when motivation feels low. The beauty of creating momentum through daily wins is that it applies to any area of life. Whether you're working on personal development, improving relationships, or advancing in your career, focusing on small, consistent actions can lead to big changes over time. The key is to choose actions that feel manageable and rewarding. Start by setting a goal that feels achievable today and commit to it. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect or grand. It just has to be something you can accomplish now. If you encounter setbacks along the way, don't be discouraged. Momentum isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. There may be days when you miss a daily win, but the important thing is to get back on track as soon as possible. Each day is a new opportunity to move closer to your goals. The more you focus on small wins, the more resilient and motivated you become, making it easier to handle challenges and stay on course. Building momentum with daily wins is a practice that, over time, transforms your mindset. You start to see yourself as someone who takes action, who follows through, and who achieves their goals. This self-image shift is one of the greatest benefits of focusing on small wins. As you continue to build momentum, you'll find that each new goal feels more attainable, and each success fuels your desire to keep growing. Reflective question: what small, achievable goal can you set for yourself today? Think of something you can accomplish within a few minutes that aligns with your larger goals. Commit to making this small win part of your daily routine and observe how it builds momentum in your journey toward success. Chapter 5: Overcoming Habitual Roadblocks. Have you ever set out with a goal, only to find yourself struggling to maintain the habits that would lead you there? This experience is incredibly common because forming new habits means breaking free from old ones, which can be challenging. Roadblocks are natural parts of the journey, but with the right mindset and strategies, you can overcome them and keep moving forward. In this chapter, we'll explore how to recognize and tackle the obstacles that stand in the way of your progress. Habitual roadblocks are often deeply ingrained behaviors, thoughts, or even environments that make it difficult to adopt new routines. For instance, imagine you're trying to build a habit of eating healthier, but every time you feel stressed, you find yourself reaching for comfort food. Here, the roadblock is an emotional trigger, stress, that's linked to the habit of unhealthy eating. Recognizing this pattern is the first step in overcoming it. Once you understand why and when these roadblocks appear, you can start to find alternative ways to respond, like practicing deep breathing or going for a short walk to ease stress. Sometimes our roadblocks are environmental. Consider someone who wants to read more, but always keeps their books tucked away on a shelf. The simple act of having to retrieve the book may seem trivial, but for someone just starting a reading habit, it can be a barrier. By leaving a book on the nightstand or carrying it in their bag, they make it easier to pick up and read when they have a few minutes. Changing the environment to reduce friction with a new habit is a powerful way to address these roadblocks. Another common roadblock is the all-or-nothing mindset. Many people feel they must stick perfectly to a new habit, and if they slip up once, they see it as a failure. This mindset creates unnecessary pressure and discourages them from continuing when they encounter setbacks. Let's say you're trying to exercise regularly, but you miss a few days because of a busy schedule. Instead of seeing this as a failure, it's more helpful to recognize that missing a few days is natural. The goal is consistency over time, not perfection. Giving yourself permission to start fresh after a setback helps you move past roadblocks with resilience and self-compassion. A powerful example of overcoming roadblocks can be seen in Mia's journey to improve her focus at work. She noticed that she was constantly distracted by notifications on her phone and social media, which prevented her from completing tasks efficiently. Her roadblock was a distracting environment that made it difficult to concentrate. After realizing this, Mia decided to put her phone on silent and leave it in a drawer during work hours. She also started using apps that blocked social media sites during certain times of the day. These small changes helped her reclaim her focus, and she was able to build a habit of working without distractions. By addressing the roadblock directly, Mia was able to create an environment that supported her goals. Another helpful strategy for overcoming roadblocks is the concept of habit stacking. This involves pairing a new habit with an existing one, making it easier to incorporate the new behavior into your routine. For example, if you're trying to build a habit of drinking more water, you might decide to drink a glass of water each time you brush your teeth. By linking the new habit to something you already do consistently, you reduce the resistance to adopting it. Habit stacking can be particularly useful when roadblocks arise from the challenge of remembering to perform a new action. One of the most subtle yet powerful roadblocks is self-doubt. When trying something new, it's natural to question your ability to succeed, especially if you face setbacks in the past. This inner dialogue can become a mental roadblock that holds you back from fully committing to a habit. For instance, if you've tried to quit smoking several times but haven't succeeded, you might start to believe that quitting is impossible for you. This belief becomes a roadblock that makes future attempts even harder. To counter this, it's essential to acknowledge and reframe self-doubt. Remind yourself that each attempt brings you closer to success, and that setbacks are a normal part of the journey. Practicing self-compassion and celebrating small wins can help shift your mindset toward one of resilience and perseverance. Sometimes roadblocks come from our social circles. Let's say you want to reduce your alcohol consumption, but your friends frequently invite you to social events where drinking is the norm. In these cases, it's essential to communicate your goals and seek support. You might ask a close friend to join you in setting limits or find new activities that don't revolve around drinking. By involving others in your journey, you're creating an environment that encourages your goals rather than hinders them. Overcoming habitual roadblocks isn't about removing every obstacle. It's about finding strategies to work through them so they don't hold you back. Being adaptable and resourceful in facing these challenges helps you build resilience. Each time you overcome a roadblock, you reinforce your commitment to your goals and strengthen your belief in your ability to succeed. Reflective question: what's one roadblock you face when building new habits? Reflect on ways you could either change your environment, reframe your mindset, or use habit stacking to overcome it. Commit to one small change this week and observe how it impacts your journey. Chapter 6: Staying Consistent Through Challenges. When we set out to build new habits, we often imagine a smooth, straightforward path to success. But in reality, challenges are inevitable, and staying consistent can feel difficult. Life has a way of throwing unexpected events, stress, or even moments of self-doubt our way. Consistency isn't about being perfect every single day. It's about finding ways to maintain our habits, even when circumstances make it hard. In this chapter, we'll explore strategies for staying consistent, no matter what obstacles arise. One of the most effective ways to stay consistent is to simplify your habits. When life gets busy, it's tempting to drop new habits because they seem too time-consuming. By making your habit as small and manageable as possible, you reduce the likelihood of giving up. For instance, if your goal is to exercise regularly, a hectic schedule may make it hard to find time for an hour-long workout. Instead, you could commit to a shorter, 10-minute session. This small action keeps you connected to your goal, even during busy days, and preserves your momentum. The habit of showing up, even in a limited way, reinforces your commitment and makes it easier to bounce back when things settle down. Consider the story of Alex, who decided to learn a new language. His initial plan was to study for 30 minutes each day, but as his work responsibilities grew, he found it hard to keep up. Instead of abandoning his goal, he adjusted his approach, focusing on a simple 5-minute lesson each day. Though it felt small, this habit kept him engaged with his learning, and he found that on less busy days, he often chose to study longer. Alex's story shows that consistency doesn't have to mean doing the same amount each day. It's about maintaining the connection to your goal, even with minor adjustments. Another key to staying consistent is to prepare for difficult moments. Think about the challenges you faced in the past when building habits. Did unexpected events disrupt your routine? Did stress make it hard to stay motivated? By identifying these patterns, you can create a plan to overcome them. For example, if stress tends to derail your healthy eating habit, you might plan to keep simple, nutritious snacks on hand, so you're less likely to reach for unhealthy options. Or, if social obligations make it hard to stick to a reading habit, you might set aside a few minutes to read before going out. Preparing for challenges helps you approach them with confidence and makes it easier to stay consistent. A valuable tool for maintaining consistency is self-compassion. Many people become frustrated or self-critical when they miss a day or slip up, but these negative feelings only make it harder to return to the habit. Treating yourself with kindness during setbacks is crucial for long-term success. Imagine a friend who is working hard to stay consistent with a habit but misses a day. You'd likely encourage them to keep going, reminding them that one day doesn't erase their progress. Offering yourself the same encouragement can make a big difference. Instead of dwelling on missed days, focus on getting back on track and celebrating each time you do. Building a support system can also be incredibly helpful for staying consistent. Having someone to share your goals with or to check in on your progress can provide motivation, especially when challenges arise. Let's look at Sarah, who was committed to running regularly. She joined a local running group, and on days when she felt unmotivated, knowing her friends would be waiting for her was enough to get her out the door. Having a support system adds accountability and creates a sense of shared purpose, making it easier to stay on track. Sometimes, visual reminders can help you stay consistent, especially during busy or challenging times. Creating a habit tracker, a simple calendar where you mark each day you complete your habit, can provide a satisfying sense of progress. The act of marking each day reinforces your commitment and can give you the motivation to keep going. You might find that seeing a row of completed days encourages you to keep the streak alive, even on days when motivation is low. In addition to using reminders and support, it's essential to reconnect with your why, the reason behind your habit. When challenges arise, remembering why you started can reignite your motivation. Let's say your goal is to meditate each day to manage stress. On tough days, it might be hard to find the time or focus. But by taking a moment to recall how meditation makes you feel calmer and more grounded, you can remind yourself why it's worth the effort. Your why is your anchor. It keeps you rooted in your goals, even when the journey feels challenging. Ultimately, consistency is about commitment, not perfection. There may be days when you miss your habit, and that's okay. The key is to avoid letting a missed day turn into a missed week or month. By accepting that challenges are part of the process and being prepared to adapt, you can maintain your habits in a sustainable way. Consistency is a journey, and every small step you take reinforces your progress. Reflective question. Think of a habit you're working to maintain. What challenges tend to disrupt your consistency? Reflect on one or two strategies you could use to stay on track, even when faced with obstacles, and commit to trying them this week. Chapter 7. Tracking and Celebrating Progress. As you work on building new habits, there's nothing quite as motivating as seeing the results of your efforts. Tracking your progress helps you stay connected to your goals, showing you how far you've come and encouraging you to keep going. Celebrating these small victories is equally important. Each one is a stepping stone on your journey and deserves recognition. In this chapter, we'll explore the power of tracking and celebrating progress and how these practices can reinforce your commitment to lasting change. Tracking progress is more than just checking off boxes or making lists. It's a way to make your growth visible. Imagine you're learning to play the guitar. In the beginning, you may only be able to strum a few basic chords, but if you track each practice session, you can look back and see how much you've improved over time. This record of progress not only builds your confidence, but also reminds you of the consistency that's driving your improvement. Knowing that your daily efforts are adding up makes it easier to stay committed, even on days when you feel less motivated. There are various ways to track progress, and the method you choose can be as simple or detailed as you like. For example, some people find it helpful to use a habit tracker, where they can visually mark each day they complete a habit. Each mark becomes a small but satisfying reward, and over time, it creates a sense of accomplishment. For others, journaling offers a more reflective way to track progress. Writing about your daily efforts and the feelings that come with them allows you to see patterns and identify what's working and what could be improved. Regardless of the method, tracking keeps your goals front and center and gives you a sense of accountability. Let's consider the example of Ava, who wanted to build a habit of running. She started by tracking each run on a calendar, noting the distance and how she felt afterward. As she looked back on her calendar each week, she could see her gradual improvement. This visual record gave her a sense of achievement and motivated her to keep going. By the end of 3 months, she was amazed at how much progress she had made. Tracking her runs kept her motivated and showed her that each small step was part of a bigger picture. Celebrating progress is just as essential as tracking it. Too often, we focus solely on the end goal and forget to recognize the effort it takes to get there. Celebrations don't have to be elaborate. They can be as simple as acknowledging your progress at the end of the week, or treating yourself to something you enjoy when you hit a milestone. Celebrating your wins reinforces the behavior and makes the journey feel rewarding. It reminds you that the effort you're putting in is valuable and worth celebrating. Think of celebrating progress like cheering for yourself along the way. Imagine a student who wants to improve their grades. Each time they score well on a test, they could take a moment to recognize the hard work they put into studying. This acknowledgement boosts their confidence and reinforces their belief in their ability to succeed. Celebrating progress also makes the process more enjoyable, which is key to sticking with it long term. Sometimes it's easy to overlook progress, especially when it feels slow. In these moments, looking back at where you started can help you see how much you've grown. A person who's trying to build a habit of reading more might feel that reading one chapter a day isn't significant. But after a month, they'll have finished a whole book, something they may not have thought possible before. Reflecting on these achievements, no matter how small, shows that each effort contributes to the larger goal. Celebrating progress also helps you stay positive when setbacks occur. Let's say you're working on a fitness goal and you've been exercising regularly for several weeks. But one week, due to illness or a busy schedule, you miss a few workouts. Instead of focusing on the missed days, take a moment to acknowledge the workouts you completed before. This shift in focus reminds you that one setback doesn't erase your progress. Celebrating what you've already achieved builds resilience, making it easier to get back on track. Tracking and celebrating progress isn't just about reaching a destination, it's about building a lifestyle that values growth. When you take the time to acknowledge your journey, you reinforce the habit of self-compassion and positivity. These qualities are invaluable, not only in habit building, but in every area of life. Progress is rarely a straight line, and setbacks are part of the process. What matters is the commitment to keep moving forward, one small step at a time. Ultimately, tracking and celebrating progress makes your goals feel more tangible and attainable. As you continue to build your habits, remember to celebrate the small wins. They are the foundation of long-term success. Each time you track a habit or celebrate a win, you're strengthening your commitment and building a habit that's aligned with your vision. Reflective question: what's one habit you're currently working on? Start tracking your progress this week and choose a small way to celebrate each time you complete a milestone. Notice how tracking and celebrating affect your motivation and commitment to your goal. Chapter 8. Expanding your habit toolbox. As you work on building consistent habits, you may find that certain methods work better than others. Developing a range of strategies, your habit toolbox, gives you flexibility and resilience as you navigate different challenges and circumstances. Just as a builder needs more than one tool to construct a sturdy structure, having a variety of habit-building techniques allows you to adapt, stay motivated, and keep progressing. This chapter will explore different methods for reinforcing habits and help you create your own customized toolbox. One powerful tool for habit building is setting up triggers or cues that prompt you to act. A trigger is any signal that reminds you to start your habit. For example, if you're trying to drink more water, you might place a water bottle on your desk as a visual reminder. Each time you see the bottle, it nudges you to take a sip, reinforcing the habit. Another common trigger is tying your new habit to an existing one, such as deciding to meditate for a few minutes right after brushing your teeth each morning. This habit stacking technique makes it easier to incorporate new habits because it connects them to something you already do consistently. Consider the example of Laura, who wanted to build a habit of stretching each day. She found that even with her good intentions, she often forgot to stretch until it was too late in the evening. To help her remember, Laura decided to set a simple trigger. Every time she finished a meal, she would take a few minutes to stretch. This cue helped her stay consistent, and soon stretching became a natural part of her routine. The trigger of mealtime served as a reliable reminder, making it easy for her to keep up the habit. Another valuable tool is setting specific, achievable goals for each habit. Vague intentions like, "I'll try to read more" or "I'll start exercising," can be hard to stick to because they lack clear direction. Instead, setting a precise target, such as, "I'll read for 10 minutes every night" or "I'll do 15 minutes of exercise 3 times a week," gives your habit a tangible structure. With a clear goal in place, it's easier to measure your progress and stay focused. This approach also helps you build momentum, as each completed goal reinforces your belief in your ability to follow through. Different environments can also play a big role in supporting or disrupting habits, so adjusting your surroundings is another essential tool. Small changes in your environment can make it easier to build habits and avoid distractions. For example, if you want to study regularly but often get distracted by your phone, you might decide to keep your phone in another room while you study. Or, if your goal is to eat healthier, Stocking your kitchen with nutritious options and keeping tempting foods out of sight can make a big difference. Shaping your environment to support your habits removes unnecessary barriers, allowing you to focus more easily on what matters. Take the story of Ben, who wanted to start a habit of practicing guitar daily. He used to keep his guitar tucked away in its case, which made it easy to overlook. Realizing this, he decided to place the guitar on a stand in his living room where he could see it every day. By making the guitar easily accessible and visible, he found himself more motivated to pick it up and play for a few minutes each evening. The small environmental shift made his habit more convenient, helping him stay consistent. Another technique that can help you reinforce habits is visual tracking. Seeing a record of your progress can be motivating and create a sense of accomplishment. Many people find that using a simple calendar or journal to mark each day they complete their habit is effective. Each mark serves as a small reward, and over time, a chain of successful days can build momentum. If you miss a day, seeing the gap can encourage you to get back on track without dwelling on setbacks. This visual reminder of your progress keeps your habit in focus and reinforces your commitment. Accountability can be a powerful addition to your habit toolbox. Sharing your goals with a friend or joining a group of like-minded individuals who are working towards similar goals can provide extra motivation and encouragement. Knowing that someone else is aware of your efforts can increase your sense of responsibility. For instance, if you're aiming to improve your fitness, joining a class or finding a workout buddy can make you feel more motivated to show up. Accountability helps create a support system, which can make it easier to stay consistent when challenges arise. Let's look at the example of Amir, who was trying to establish a writing habit. He found it hard to stay motivated when writing alone, so he joined a local writing group where members shared their weekly progress. This accountability kept him on track, and he found himself looking forward to the group's meetings each week. Sharing his journey with others not only helped him stay committed, but also provided valuable support and feedback. Accountability gave Amir an extra reason to stick to his habit, even when his motivation wavered. As you build your habit toolbox, remember that it's okay to experiment and adjust your methods. Different strategies may work better for different habits or stages in your journey. For instance, you might find that habit stacking works well for building daily routines, while accountability is more effective for long-term goals. The key is to find what feels sustainable and enjoyable, making the habit a natural part of your life. By being flexible and open to change, you can strengthen your toolbox and adapt it to suit your evolving needs. Having a habit toolbox allows you to approach your goals with confidence and adaptability. Instead of relying on willpower alone, you're using thoughtful strategies that support your efforts. Each tool helps you overcome obstacles and stay consistent, building momentum over time. And as you practice using these tools, you'll discover what works best for you, creating a sustainable foundation for lasting growth. Reflective question. Think about a habit you're currently working on. What tools could you add to your habit-building toolbox to support this goal? Try incorporating one or two strategies this week and observe how they affect your consistency and motivation. Chapter 9. Developing Resilience in Setbacks. Building new habits is an exciting journey, but it's one that's rarely without its bumps. Setbacks, whether big or small, are a natural part of the process. Developing resilience, the ability to recover from these setbacks, can make all the difference in whether we continue on our path or give up. This chapter focuses on understanding the role of setbacks in habit building and how to cultivate a resilient mindset that keeps you moving forward. Setbacks happen to everyone, no matter how committed they are. Life can be unpredictable, and unexpected events or moments of low motivation can interrupt even the best planned routines. Imagine you're working on a habit of going to the gym regularly, and then you catch a cold that keeps you from exercising for a week. It's easy to feel frustrated or even defeated in these situations, but resilience is about knowing that one setback doesn't erase all your progress. It's the ability to bounce back and pick up where you left off, rather than viewing the interruption as a failure. One of the first steps to building resilience is learning to view setbacks as part of the learning process. Every time you encounter a challenge, it's an opportunity to understand yourself better and strengthen your commitment to your goals. Let's consider the example of Lily, who was trying to establish a habit of reading every day. She kept up with her goal for a few weeks, but then a busy work project took up her time and energy. Initially, she felt disappointed and considered giving up on her reading habit altogether. But after reflecting on her setback, she realized that she could adjust her routine to read for just 5 minutes on busy days. This small adjustment allowed her to keep moving forward, and she developed greater resilience by finding a way to adapt. Another key to resilience is to avoid an all-or-nothing mindset. Many people fall into the trap of thinking they have to follow their new habit perfectly, or not at all. However, this mindset can make it harder to recover when setbacks happen. Imagine you're building a habit of eating healthier, and one evening, you give in to the temptation of a rich dessert. It's easy to think, I've blown it, so I might as well give up on healthy eating. But resilience means accepting that occasional indulgences are natural and don't define your entire journey. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on consistency. Resilience is about bouncing back after each slip-up and recognizing that progress is not lost because of one setback. Having a support system can also enhance your resilience when setbacks occur. Sharing your goals and challenges with friends, family, or a group can provide encouragement and perspective when you need it most. Take the example of Mark, who set a goal to run a marathon. Early in his training, he injured his ankle, which kept him from running for several weeks. Frustrated and discouraged, he considered abandoning his goal. But with encouragement from his running group, he focused on recovery and found ways to stay active without straining his injury. This support helped him keep his commitment alive, and he returned to training once he was ready. Mark's experience highlights how a support system can remind you of your strength when setbacks make you doubt yourself. Resilience also involves practicing self-compassion. Setbacks can trigger self-criticism, but this only adds unnecessary pressure and discourages you from getting back on track. Treating yourself with kindness during difficult times is essential for maintaining long-term motivation. Imagine that a friend is struggling to stick to a new habit. You would likely encourage them, reminding them of their progress and advising them not to be too hard on themselves. Giving yourself this same encouragement can ease the emotional weight of setbacks and keep you motivated to continue. By being gentle with yourself, you make it easier to recover and refocus. To cultivate resilience, it's helpful to keep your why in mind, the deeper reason behind your habit. When setbacks happen, reconnecting with the purpose that motivated you in the first place can reignite your determination. Let's say you're working on a habit of saving money each month, but an unexpected expense interrupts your progress. Reminding yourself of the goal behind your habit, such as financial security or a special purchase you're working toward, can help you refocus. Your why provides a sense of purpose that makes it easier to overcome temporary setbacks and continue moving forward. Visualization is another powerful tool for building resilience. When you encounter a setback, take a moment to picture yourself successfully getting back on track. Imagine the feeling of accomplishment that comes from pushing through challenges. This mental rehearsal can reinforce your belief in your ability to recover, helping you approach setbacks with a positive attitude. Visualization prepares your mind to handle setbacks with confidence, making it easier to bounce back when they happen. Learning from setbacks is an important part of resilience. Each setback can teach you valuable lessons about what works and what doesn't. For instance, if you're trying to build a habit of journaling each night but find that you're often too tired, this might be a sign to adjust your routine. Perhaps journaling in the morning would be more effective for you. Viewing setbacks as learning experiences allows you to refine your approach, making each attempt stronger and better suited to your lifestyle. Resilience isn't just about getting back on track, it's also about growing through the process. Each time you overcome a setback, you build confidence in your ability to handle challenges. This confidence makes it easier to tackle future setbacks, knowing that you have the skills to keep moving forward. Resilience is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. Over time, setbacks become less daunting, and your commitment to your goals grows even deeper. Remember, setbacks are normal and don't define your success. Resilience is about staying committed and recognizing that each effort brings you closer to your goal. By viewing setbacks as part of the journey, you can maintain a positive, growth-oriented mindset that empowers you to continue your progress. Reflective question. Think about a recent setback you experienced while working on a habit. What did you learn from it, and how could you approach similar challenges differently in the future? Take a moment to reflect on one small change that could help you build resilience in the face of future setbacks. Chapter 10. Living Your Habit Shift. Reaching the final chapter of this journey, you've learned to create, nurture, and sustain habits that support your path to success. Now it's time to focus on integrating these habits so deeply into your life that they become second nature. Living your habit shift means letting these positive changes become part of who you are, guiding your choices and actions effortlessly. In this chapter, we'll explore how to fully embrace the habits you've worked to build so they continue to serve you over the long term. One of the most important aspects of living your habit shift is embracing a growth mindset, the belief that you can continue learning, growing, and improving throughout your life. When your habits become part of a growth mindset, they aren't just tasks to complete. They are tools for ongoing development. For instance, if you've developed a habit of reading regularly, don't stop at a certain number of books. Embrace the journey of learning itself, knowing that each new book or article you read adds to your knowledge and perspective. This approach keeps your habits fresh and meaningful, allowing you to evolve as you pursue new knowledge and skills. Consider the example of Daniel, who built a habit of journaling every evening to reflect on his day and his goals. At first, it was simply a way to track his progress, but over time he found that journaling offered him clarity and helped him make better decisions. The habit became part of his identity as someone who is thoughtful and reflective. Even on challenging days, he kept journaling because it was no longer a task, it was part of who he was. Living his habit shift gave Daniel a sense of purpose and growth, and he found that the habit enriched his life in ways he hadn't anticipated. Another key to living your habit shift is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness means being present in the moment, paying attention to your actions and choices without judgment. When you approach your habits mindfully, you're more likely to stay connected to their purpose and appreciate the impact they have on your life. For example, if you've developed a habit of exercising regularly, practicing mindfulness allows you to enjoy each workout, notice how it makes you feel, and stay grateful for the benefits it brings. This mindful approach helps you avoid becoming complacent or taking your progress for granted. Mindfulness also helps you notice when your habits might need adjustment. Life is dynamic, and your needs and goals may shift over time. Staying mindful allows you to recognize when a habit needs to be modified to better serve you. For instance, if you started with a habit of morning meditation, but find that evenings are now a more peaceful time for reflection, don't hesitate to adjust. Living your habit shift means being flexible and adapting your routines to fit your evolving lifestyle, rather than rigidly sticking to a routine that no longer suits you. Gratitude is another powerful element of living your habit shift. Taking a moment to appreciate the progress you've made and the positive impact of your habits helps reinforce your commitment. For example, if you've established a habit of saving money each month, expressing gratitude for your growing financial stability can remind you of the freedom and security that this habit provides. Acknowledging these benefits keeps you motivated and reinforces the value of the habits you've cultivated. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you still want to achieve to what you've already accomplished, making the journey more fulfilling. A helpful way to ensure your habits remain integral to your life is to share them with others. When you talk about your habits and the positive changes they've brought, you not only strengthen your commitment, but also inspire those around you. Take the example of Maria, who developed a habit of practicing mindfulness and stress relief techniques. She found that sharing her experiences with friends sparked interest, and soon her friends joined her in mindfulness practices. Living her habit shift became a source of connection and inspiration, as she saw the positive influence her habits had on those around her. Sharing your journey can reinforce your commitment and create a sense of community and support. Incorporating your habits into your identity is perhaps the most powerful way to make them lasting. When you see yourself as someone who values health, learning, or personal growth, your habits become a natural expression of who you are. For instance, if you've built a habit of healthy eating, identifying as someone who values wellness and nourishment can help you maintain that habit effortlessly. Instead of thinking, I have to eat healthily, you start to think, this is what I enjoy, and it's part of who I am. This shift in perspective makes your habits feel less like tasks and more like authentic expressions of your values. Living your habit shift is also about celebrating your progress and allowing yourself to feel proud of your journey. Reflect on how far you've come, the obstacles you've overcome, and the positive changes you've created. Recognize that these habits have transformed not only your actions but also your mindset. Celebrate each milestone, no matter how small, as a testament to your growth and commitment. Embracing your accomplishments gives you the energy and motivation to continue, knowing that each step has brought you closer to the person you aspire to be. Finally, remember that living your habit shift is an ongoing journey. Habits are not static, they evolve with you. Some habits may lead to new goals, while others may naturally fade as they fulfill their purpose. Embrace this evolution with an open mind, recognizing that each stage of your habit journey brings its own rewards and lessons. Living your habit shift is about staying committed to growth, embracing change, and allowing your habits to adapt to each phase of your life. Reflective question: how can you make your habits feel more connected to who you are? Reflect on one habit you've developed and consider how you might integrate it more deeply into your identity and lifestyle. Take a moment to celebrate your progress and think about how this habit can continue to enrich your life as you move forward. Conclusion: in Habit Shift, Strengthen Your Path to Success, we've journeyed through the powerful process of building lasting habits that align with your goals and values. From identifying small shifts, overcoming roadblocks, and creating daily wins, to developing resilience and integrating habits into your identity, each chapter has offered tools to make positive change both achievable and meaningful. By staying mindful, flexible, and committed, you're empowering yourself to create a life that reflects who you truly are. Thank you for taking the time to explore these concepts with us. We hope this content inspires you to take action and experience the impact of consistent, purposeful habits. If you found this helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more insights and tools to support your journey to success.